Good morning everyone. So today we will be discussing about microstructure and what are the classifications of microstructure. So in the previous slide we have been discussed about what are the macrostructures and what are the parts of the macrostructures. Okay, so we'll give a quick review on what are the parts we have been discussed. As I have told you, the macrostructures means the wood, the structure of the wood that is visible to our naked eye or at a small magnification is called as macrostructures, and these are the parts of the macrostructures or the classification we can say. Okay, so I have already discussed with you. First is pith. The innermost central portion of the core of the tree is called pith or medulla. It varies in size and shape for the different types of the trees. As I have shown in the diagram, the middle portion or the inner portion of the core of the tree is called the pith. Next is heartwood. The inner annual rings surrounding the pith known as heartwood. It is usually dark in color. Next is sapwood. The outer annular rings between the heartwood and cambium layer is known as sapwood. It is usually light in color, in light and weight. Next, I have already discussed about the cambium layer. The thin layer of the sap between the sapwood and the inner bark is known as cambium layer. And next is inner bark. The inner skin or the layer covering the cambium layer is known as inner bark. I have already shown you in the diagram. This is the cambium layer and this is the inner bark. Okay, and this is the outer bark. This is the heartwood, pith, the middle portion. This is the sapwood and these are the medullar rays. Okay, these are the medullar rays. Okay, so inner bark, the inner skin or the layer covering the cambium layer is known as inner bark and it gives protection to the cambium layer from any injury. Next is outer bark. The outer skin or the cover of the tree is known as outer bark and it is the outermost protective layer. Next is medullary rays. The thin radial fibers extending from the pith to cambium layer are known as medullary rays. Okay. So next we will be discussing about that is microstructure. As I have told you, the structure of the wood apparent only at a great magnifications is called microstructure. And what are the classifications of the microstructure? There are three categories. First is conductive cells, next is mechanical cells, last one is storage cells. In the mechanical cells, these cells serve mainly to transmit the nutrients from root to the branches and the leaves. Okay, these conductive cells serve mainly to transmit the nutrients from the root to the branch and the leaves. Okay, so next one is that is mechanical cells. These cells are elongated, thick-walled and have tightly interconnected narrow interior cavities. These cells impart strength to the wood. Okay, as you can say, the mechanical cells are elongated and thick-walled and have tightly interconnected narrow interior cavities, and these cells impart strength to the wood. The last one is that is storage cells. These cells serve to store and transmit the nutrients to the living cells in the horizontal directions and they are usually located in the medullary rays. So these are the storage cells which are located in the medullary rays, and these cells serve to store and transmit the nutrients to the living cells in the horizontal direction. Okay, so these are the microstructures and the classifications of the microstructure. So next we will be reading about what are the characteristics of good timber. So I have already told you timber means wood, and timber is used in our building purposes. Other many types of engineering purposes also timber has been used. So we will be reading about what are the characteristics of the good timber. So first one is that is appearance. So a freshly cut surface of the timber should exhibit the hard and shining appearance. Okay, so a freshly cut surface of the timber, that is wood, should exhibit hard and a shining appearance. It should be there in the timber. Next is color. The color should be preferably dark. You can see here I have already shown the images of the timber here. It has been cut and placed in a proper shape and size. It has been placed here. So next is color. The color should be preferably dark. So next is durability. A good timber should be durable and capable of resisting the action of fungi, insects, chemicals, physical agencies and mechanical agencies. So a timber or a good timber should be durable and capable of resisting the action of fungi, insects, physical properties and the chemical properties and the mechanical agencies, we can say. Okay. So next is hardness. A good timber should be hard. As we all know the timber, that is wood, is hard. That should be hard. Okay. So next is smell. A good timber should have sweet smell. Unpleasant timber indicated decayed timber. Okay. A good timber should have sweet smell. So if we cut a fresh timber or a fresh branch, so it smell like a sweet smell. Okay. And so we can say it is a good timber. So if it smell like an unpleasant timber, we can say that is unpleasant timber indicated, that is decayed timber. Okay. So next is sound. A good timber should give a clear ringing sound when struck with each other. Okay. If the timber have been struck with each other, they would give a clear ringing sound. Next is strength. A good timber should be sufficiently strong for working as a structural member such as beam, rafter, etc. So you have already been seen in our construction purposes. It has been used in our beam, formwork, rafter, column. It has been used. So we can say that a good timber should be sufficiently strong for working as a structural member. Okay. Next is structure. The structure of the timber should be uniform. Okay, and it should be a proper shape and size. Next is weight. The timber of the heavy weight is considered to be sound and strong. Okay, so we can say that the timber of the heavy weight of the timber is considered to be sound and strong. Okay. Next is working conditions. The timber should be easily workable. Okay, so these are the characteristics of the good timber. Okay, first is appearance, color, durability, hardness, smell. Appearance means it will give a shining appearance. Color, the timber should be preferably a dark color. Durability, it should be a durable, the timber should be durable and it should be resist from the action of fungi, insects or any type of physical and chemical agencies. Okay, so next is hardness. It should be the timber should be hard. All of us know the wood that is hard. And next is smell. If we cut a fresh tree, that will give a sweet smell. Okay. If we keep the tree or the timber for a very long time, then it gives a unpleasant timber, which indicated that it is a decayed timber. So next is sound. So it gives a clear sound when struck with each other. Next is strength. It should be sufficiently strong for working as a structural member such as beam, rafter, column, formwork. Okay. The structure should be uniform in proper shape and size. And the weight, the timber of heavy weight is considered to be sound and strong. The last one is working conditions. The timber should be easily workable. Okay. So now we will be discussing about seasoning of timber. Seasoning of timber means it is a process by which moisture content in the timber is reduced to required level. Okay, so we can say it is a process by which the moisture content in the timber is reduced to the required level. By reducing the moisture content, the strength, elasticity and durable properties are developed. Okay, so we can say it is a process by which the moisture in the timber is reduced to a required level. By reducing the required level, the strength and elasticity and durable properties have been developed. Okay. So we can also say that the water, while you are cutting the tree, some quantity of water is present in that tree. So the water is to be removed before the timber can be used for any engineering purposes. Also we can say that the water, if we cut the branch of a tree, the water comes out from that, some little quantity of water comes out from that. that water is to be removed before the timber can be used for any engineering purposes. So that we have to reduce, that is the moisture we have to reduce it, and if we reduce it, the strength, elasticity and durable properties will be developed. Okay, so next we will be reading about, that is, objectives of seasoning. Okay, so in the next slide we will be reading about objectives of seasoning. Thank you.